Hi, I'm Steve Wikolski. Today we're going to talk about the full swing. And we're going to talk about a very key ingredient in the full swing, which is the way your body moves, or your body pivot. You know, the body pivot, the way we turn our body, the way we move our body throughout the swing is really the lifeblood, if you will, of your golf swing. It's kind of the engine which drives the movement of the hands and arms throughout the swing. With an incorrect body pivot, it's very difficult to get the club swinging on the correct plane and to have maximum power in your swing. So let's start talking about the way we should move our body to hit good shots. So as we start out, what we really want to do is get our body to rotate and move back to the back foot and through to the front foot. So I'm going to just drop this club down for a second and just cross my arms across my shoulders like so, keeping my elbows in. My feet are about shoulder width apart. And as I set up here, everything is kind of parallel. My feet, knees, hips, and shoulders are all parallel to my intended target line, like so. Okay? And as we make our pivot, we want to start our pivot by kind of moving the core, moving the center of our body, and we're just going to move the hips a little bit to the right here. We're going to allow then the shoulders to carry on and continue winding up to where we get our shoulders almost 90 degrees or our back facing the target. You can see I have a little bit of hip turn here. I've kept my left heel down on the ground. There is some rotation and movement in the knees, but not too much. Our legs are fairly stable. Our lower body is fairly stable in the backswing movement. So we wind up and get behind the ball like so. Looking at it from this view, arms crossed. And as we make our pivot, wind our shoulders, keeping our eyes kind of looking down where the ball is there and feeling our back to the target and just holding that for a second. It's a good stretch exercise. It's a really good exercise for you to do in the winter time, or you can do it right now at home, anytime really, to work on your body turn. So as we wind up here, get our back facing the target, you can see here my knees are fairly stable. I've maintained flex in the back of my right leg here. I don't want it locking or straightening back. I want to feel the pressure and the weight on the inside of my right foot as I make my backswing. We don't want to have our weight shifting over to the outside of our back foot where our ankle would roll over. That would be a real power leak because it wouldn't allow you the energy to come down into the ball and keep the club moving on the proper plane. So again, from here, as we make our backswing pivot, we wind, keeping the weight on the inside of the right foot, keeping the right leg braced, and that will really help to create some power and some torque in your backswing. But that's not all, okay? Because as we make our pivot, obviously we got to come back the other way. So as we start down, we want to initiate the downswing, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, but we want to initiate the downswing with the lower body, namely the left knee. So as I'm winding back into the backswing, my left knee is going to start moving back towards my front side or my left side. So as we go back, so we start down, and it kind of gives the legs a squatty appearance. You don't want your legs to be locked as you start the downswing. The left knee initiates the movement, followed very closely by the left shoulder. So as we work back, the left knee moves and the left shoulder moves away from my chin here. We don't want to start down and have our head and shoulders moving together, our head and left shoulder moving together. So there's a little separation. The left shoulder goes down and away, and with my right hand here, I can actually just push on my left shoulder just to kind of initiate that movement, like so. And then as we continue on from that point, we've now kind of put our weight back 50-50, where our weight's from our right side. Now it's back in a 50-50 position in between our feet. Now we're going to rotate through, and we're going to finish our swing to the follow through with our weight going to our left. So now I'm going to continue rotating my shoulders. At about this point, that'd probably be about where impact is in my swing. My right knee's kind of kicking in, my hips are turned more, my shoulders are rotating, and then I'm going to go through and to my finish, to where my right shoulder here is pretty much the closest thing to the target, as you can see. My left leg is straightened up, I haven't rolled over, and my ankle hasn't rolled over. My shoe's still flat on the ground here, supporting the movement of my upper body through the shot as I go to my finish. All together here, back, through. Now, you can do this drill in a number of ways. To isolate your lower body movement and your middle, your core, you can put your club around your lower back like so. Try to put your fingers together here. And you can really get more of a sense of how your middle moves with the shaft on your lower back. Like so. You can also put the club across your shoulder blades. Now this is really a good one. It's not too strenuous, but if you're working in a mirror, you can really see the plane of your shoulders, because you want your shoulders to turn at about 90 degrees to that of your spine angle. So as you can see my back angle there, I want to turn my left shoulder kind of down. I want to have my right shoulder up a little bit. I certainly don't want to turn flat, nor do I want to get too steep. I want to turn my shoulders at 90 degrees to my spine going back. And then you can really kind of sense with the shaft in front of you here how your left shoulder moves away from your chin as you start your downswing. How that left knee transitions, starts back, and the left shoulder goes away, and now the right side comes forward. So even at that point in my swing, I'll go this way. As I follow through with my pivot, you can see how my body angles are pretty much maintained here. I'm not coming out of the shot. My right shoulder's not too high. My left shoulder's not too low, nor have I kind of dipped down and tilted this way, which would really lead to an incomplete body pivot. So I want to rotate through, keeping my shoulders pretty much at 90 degrees to my spine here too. A great exercise to really get you moving. A little variation of this is to get a big PVC pipe, put it across your shoulders, and stretch out your arms. Now you've got your arms extended, and you can really sense a full wind in your upper body, a full torque moving back, transition, through. So if there's one way to really improve your golf swing, it's to learn how to pivot properly. Like I say, this is something you can work on at home. You don't have to be on the golf course to do this. And if you did 20 to 30 reps like this a day in front of a mirror, first of all, just to make sure you're getting the movement right, I think it's really going to help your golf swing. You're going to hit it more powerfully, you're going to hit it stronger, and you're going to enjoy the game more. Thanks for watching.